Hey YouTubers, thanks for watching my channel. In this episode, what I'm going to do is install a battery tender for this car. So Ferrari 360s, 430s, and 458s will need a battery tender, a trickle charger, to keep the battery nice and fresh and fully maintained. Alright, so one of the things you're going to learn if you own one of these Ferraris is that they need to have a battery trickle charger all connected to them when you're not driving them. So the battery loses some of its charge, obviously, every time you take it out, and also just while it's sitting. And because some of them, at least my car specifically, I don't drive it very often, maybe once every 2 weeks. You know, it's a lengthy time between drives. Having a battery tender connected to it, especially where I am, where it's very cold climate in the winter, so I won't be driving at all for several months, it's a good idea to connect one. And there's different brands that are suggested. C-Tech is very popular. I myself have a different unit. I have a Deltran Battery Tender Plus. It's suggested on the Ferrari chat actually from some other members that this is a better unit than the smaller one that has smaller amperage to charge. I think the brands aren't really that important, provided that you're not using one that has too high a current. You don't want to hook it up to an actual battery charger. We're not charging the battery, we're just giving it a little trickle of current to keep the battery at full capacity. So my Battery Tender Plus has these little eyelets that connect to the battery terminals in the car, and it's just a little pigtail with a connector, a quick connect on the end, and the actual battery tender itself is obviously on the other end with a lengthier length of cord, and just quickly disconnect it. It's got a little bit of a cap on it, so you don't accidentally short it out by rubbing something against the terminals on this cable. And it's really straightforward to hook up. So the battery is actually located right at the feet of the passenger compartment or seating. And there's a bit of carpeting, a footrest with a bit of carpeting, and a couple of screws that you remove to get access to the battery. It's a good idea to turn access to the battery. So there's a battery kill within the front trunk of the car. Disconnect that. Okay, and inside the trunk right here is the battery kill. Just turn it, and that disconnects the battery basically from the rest of the car's electronics. And before you start, I suggest to put a blanket or a mat on the ground, because you're going to be laying down on your stomach. Okay, so the battery is right behind this footrest. All you do is you pull the carpeting down, and here are the two screws that you remove to get this whole panel or carpeting off, and the battery is, as you can see, right behind it. And normally these are Allen screws, but the previous owner of this car must have switched them out for a couple of Phillips. And now this little pull, and exposes the battery. Okay, now I'm just gonna put my nut through the terminal lead. Try to get this in focus. And you probably have to help it with your fingers to start. And this is just a 1/4 inch wrench will do it, box wrench. Okay, now I've got both the negative and the positive terminals connected. So this I'll just dangle outside and put this back into place. The
footrest, and then I'll just put the 2 screws back in and we're in business. There.
All right, now we just need to connect the actual battery tender to the pigtail that we've connected to the battery, and we're done. Okay, so that's it. This was probably the most straightforward project there's going to be on this car. The reason why I created the video is because I only really found one other one, and I know some people like to have a little bit of confidence by being able to view a couple of different videos that talk about the same topic, so that's why I created it. So thanks very much for watching it. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll be posting much more content about this 360 adventure.